Hello, class. Professor Schmeling here, and I wanted to discuss with you the new discussion rubric so that there's a understanding in what we're looking for and how items are graded with regards to discussions. So the first thing I wanted to go over was the quality measurement, and then what we'll do is we'll put it all together and show you how that calculator works with the quality measurement. We basically have three measurements for quality. You have high, medium, and low, and this stands for the quality of your post. So a high quality is basically your contributions indicate mastery. You could read here the differences between the high, medium, and quality. But we use this, the high, medium, and low. And I'm going to show you examples of what those are. So continuing with high, your responses might integrate multiple views and show value as a seed for reflection for others. So we're looking for, a compare and contrast evaluation, and that you're helping another person understand the difference with that comparison and maybe change their point of view. You provide evidence that you're reading the assigned materials, and I think that's a pretty important quality there. If your main post doesn't indicate the lesson, textbook items or objectives, but you're doing a post, but there's nothing that reflects that reading, then it's really hard to give you a high. So make sure that you're in the books, you're reading your text, and then from your text, you're making a post and reflecting back on what you've read and understood. So medium is your response builds on the ideas of another participant. When you make intelligent posts through the week, and I think another one here is that you're making some good posts, but you don't fully understand the concept. So, of course, in online courses, it's challenging because you're learning basically from reading on your own, and sometimes that interpretation might not be the correct interpretation. Maybe your point's a bit off. Maybe you don't understand everything, but some things you do. As long as you are reading, trying to put that into your own words, what that lesson was on, you'll get a medium. Low is the quality of posts that are, I just agree or disagree, no explanation, no indication of reading from the chapter, and I'm going to go over some of what those posts look like. So we'll give you some examples. So here I have an example of a high quality post in my opinion. So this is on Windows deployment server system. It basically, what Windows or WDS does is it captures an image of an operating system, and then you could redeploy that image. So in this case, what happened here is the post talks about what server operating system that WDS can run on, how you can install it, how you can push it to different computers, what it actually is, a snapshot, and then from the chapter, some indications, right? It's a capturing image tool, and then some references to point me into the right direction. So here there was some indication from the lesson chapter, and then some resources, additional resources, because additional references or additional value is added to that. So I would give this a high quality post. Here's a demonstration of a medium quality. So WDS doesn't have anything to do with defragging a disk, but in this case, the topic is discussing that WDS also defrags, and defrags will help the PC run much faster. So they're pulling a lesson concept, but it doesn't integrate with WDS. So for here, I would give a medium quality where they've attempted to try to discuss WDS, that it helps install images go faster, and then a little bit off topic with a reference included. A low quality post I would demonstrate here is where it just basically says, I enjoyed reading your post. I agree with what you wrote, and believe that you wrote everything is excellent. So in this circumstance, when you agree with what they wrote, my recommendation would be to list some of the things you agree with. Why did you enjoy reading the post? What was excellent about what they wrote? Go into detail and explain some things. With replies, I always kind of look for the ask, acknowledge, and add, right? So first we're going to acknowledge the person um, and their post. We're going to add to the post, right? Maybe an additional point of view, maybe two additional points of views, right? To compare and contrast. Maybe you can compare it to your post, your main post, and then contrast it with something different or something that you've learned. And then explain why it was excellent. But then you want to ask them a question to continue the discussion thread, right? Because overall, this is a discussion and you want to continue and keep discussions going. So these are my examples of high, medium, and low quality posts. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you how the calculator comes into effect. So when we grade discussions, we're grading on some different topics here. Let me get that straightened out for you. So we grade on timeliness, frequency, and quality. So we went over quality with high, medium, low. Now let's go over timeliness, right? So your main post is due by Wednesday. So if you do your main post by Wednesday, you get this check mark. If you don't do it by Wednesday, you get this, right? So you can see that's a big difference, right? And this is both discussions. So if you have two discussions in your class, your main post is due on Wednesday for discussion 1A and 1B, or lesson 1, discussion 1, lesson 1, discussion 2. So you simply do it and you get a 10, right? So it'd be 10 per discussion. So let's say we're going to continue on that main post and we say they did meet frequency because they posted on Wednesday. That's another 10. Well, and let's say that in this circumstance, you did not do 2 replies. And let's say that post that you did was the high quality that I defined, right? So you did 1 main post, the highest you can get is a 40, right? So you can see how important those replies are, right? One reply is 30% of your discussion grade. You do 2 replies, that's 60. If you only do your main post each week, you're only going to achieve a 40. So now let's say we've done our 1 reply, right? We've met the frequency of 1 reply. And let's say that quality of that 1 reply was a high quality. So now we're at 70 by doing 1 main post and 1 reply. This is only grade for 1 discussion, right? So discussion 1, or lesson 1, discussion 1. Let's say if we did a medium quality, right? We got 15 points for that medium. We're still at about a 65, right? And if we did a low quality, we'd be at a 60, right? So it's 10 points for low. And this is up to the instructor, right? They could take you down. I think something like this low quality would not earn a 10 in my book because there's nothing that's being added at all. So I would probably take that down to a 1. So what you want to do is you want to focus on the quality and you want to focus on getting everything in on time. Let's just say you did everything on time. And let's just say that everything you did on time is of low quality, right? So low quality, everything on time, we just earned a 70% for that discussion, right? So let's bump it up to medium, right? We've tried to do medium posts. We got everything in on time. Then we've got an 85. And what this means right here is posted on 3 separate days. So you know your main post is due on Wednesday. You can't do both your replies on Sunday. That would earn 1 reply on a different day, but not another reply on a different day. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have them done on different days, all 3. Main post on Wednesday, perhaps reply 1 and 2 is done Thursday and Friday, right? And of course, we know that if we're at high quality for all of them, we get 20, and we have everything in on time, we get 100, right? So I mean, there's different things that you could work with here and understand. I just want you to be aware of how discussions are graded now, and what you can do to maximize your efforts to get the highest grade that you can get. All right, thanks.